If life was a video game, it would probably be the most difficult and frustrating game to ever exist. After all, there's an infinite number of quests, obstacles, loading screens, and quite frankly, the rules of the game aren't even clear. For years, I've struggled trying to figure things out, constantly feeling overwhelmed until I figured out a system on how to start playing the game of life. Today, I'll be sharing that system through a simple 3-step process, so I really hope this helps you out, so let's get right into it. Step 1 is to identify the uncontrollables. Now, these are the pieces that no matter how much you worry about them, no matter how much effort you put into trying to fix them, they're not really going to change. I've learned throughout the years that just simply some problems in life that you cannot influence and you cannot control at all. And this is not me trying to be a pessimist or anything, I'm just simply being a realist. Because if you start focusing on problems that you can control and it's taking up all your bandwidth, all your mental efforts, and you're constantly stressed about it, then let me tell you, you're not really going to have time to fix the things that you're supposed to be fixing. Some examples of this are things like the economy, or maybe other people's actions, or even the random day-to-day accidents that are constantly occurring. Like, these are things that you cannot influence, so no matter how much you worry about them, it's not really going to change the outcome. It is so important that you learn to accept this and move on, because if you're anything like me, you probably work a 9-to-5 job, or you have a job that's taking up a lot of your energy and time and attention, so you're already so drained. You don't have a lot of resources to spare. So you need to be very careful of where you're directing those resources, because what I learned is that if you pour your energy into trying to solve something that is unsolvable, then that's going to lead you on a path to burning out. For the longest time, I used to think that as long as I put my heart into it, if I work really hard on solving a problem, then the thing will eventually be solved. But if you're putting your efforts into the wrong problems, then you're not really going to make any progress. And that's the difficult lesson that I had to learn, is that you need to be very careful of where you're putting your energy into and which problems are you trying to solve. This step 1 is so important because it simplifies the game, it helps you focus your attention on what really is important, and it kind of gives you the perimeters of how you're going to enjoy the game of life instead of constantly feeling overwhelmed all the time. If you enjoy all the content I've been sharing and you want to start taking more actionable steps towards achieving your goals, then you can check out the link in the description for access to a community that I'm starting. It's called Press Start. Best part of this is completely free. It's done at your own pace. It's a place for us to hang out, ask some questions, learn, and honestly just have fun as we continue to play the game of life. Now, once you identify the problems that you can't control, the next step is to start focusing your attention on the battles that you can influence. In the game of life, of course, there's a lot of boss battles and they're really challenging, but some of them are fair. So with the right skills and experience, you can actually influence the outcome to your advantage. And this is where you want to pour most of your time and energy towards to improve on your skills and experiences. The scope of your influence every day is really limited to your actions, your decisions, and just the present moments. As an example, there's a huge difference between wishing that your boss is going to give you a raise versus you taking actionable steps to improve on your skills, your resume, start asking your boss for a raise, because that then is going to influence the outcome to your favor. One simply just relies on things that's uncontrollable, like what your boss is going to do, and one, you're trying to influence the outcome through your own actions. If there's one thing that you want to take away from this video, is that you always have to focus on improving your skills and knowledge. As long as you keep on doing that, you are going to start making progress towards these goals that you can control. I made this biggest mistake once I started my full-time job as an occupational therapist. I started working, and I believed that as long as I kept working, that was enough experience and skills that I was going to gain. But what I didn't realize is I need to put conscious effort into improving on my skills and experience. I had to learn outside of my work. I had to actually constantly try to learn things as I'm working, and then I have to apply this kind of knowledge, because if you just learn and you don't apply anything, then what really is the point? Once I started doing this, I started to see more progress towards the things that I want to do. There's more potential for growth, there's more potential to make a better income. If you do this consistently enough, you will start to see progress, but then this leads us to the next question. How do you keep this sustainable for the long term? And most importantly, how do you actually make this fun enough so you keep on wanting to do that instead of forcing yourself to push through? Having discussed the importance of mastering your skills, let's now discuss how to sustain your progress through a well-designed gameplay loop. One of the biggest struggles that I personally faced was that I had difficulty being consistent enough pursuing all these new skills and knowledge that I'm trying to acquire. I knew the what's and I knew the how, but I didn't really know how to stay consistent. Because understand that having goals is one thing, right? But following through with them is a whole other story. Just understand that having goals isn't enough to push you through. It is in our nature to avoid struggles, avoid challenges. When it comes to acquiring new skills and knowledge, while it can sound very exciting, it's an extremely challenging task. So what you need to do is you need to guarantee and create a way that you follow through, especially on the days where you don't feel like it. And this is where the gameplay loop comes into play. So a very quick definition of the gameplay loop, this comes from video games or sports or whatever it is. It's basically the sequence of actions that keep players wanting to keep on doing the thing. And what's important about the gameplay loop is that they have three elements. The first is this element of skill acquisition where you're leveling up, getting better at the thing. Second is overcoming a huge challenge. And lastly, at third is finally getting the reward. For the majority of us, we're always just focusing on the reward, right? We just want to get that raise, we want to get the body that we want, but we forget to focus on how are we getting there and what are the challenges we have to overcome. The trick is to enjoy all three parts, not just the rewards. So how you want to design this is you want to start thinking, okay, if I had to achieve this outcome, what are the things I'm going to do and how do I actually enjoy doing that thing? So for example, for me, if I'm going to be filming these videos, I may as well start covering stuff that I'm learning about, things that I like talking about, because that's going to keep me motivated to doing this. If I'm just covering things for the sake of getting views or covering things because, you know, I'm just trying to go viral or something like that, then it's not going to be as fun for me to do it. It's going to be very stressful and I'm not going to stay consistent doing it. But if I enjoy doing this thing, then guess what? I'm just going to keep on doing things and eventually with time I'll get better and better and better. So that's kind of the mindset that you want to have. Because just think about it, right? Like for every game, if there is no kind of leveling up system or skill acquisition, then obviously you're not going to get good enough to beat the game. If there's no obstacle, then the game's going to be really boring because what are you going to overcome? And if there's no reward, you're not going to be motivated to actually play the game. So you need all three to actually enjoy the game. And the better the gameplay loop, the more fun will be. So you want to really apply this concept to the game of life, and that's what keeps you excited to keep on going. It's not really all about just the reward now, it's about enjoying the whole process of playing the game. And that was really the unlock that I had that made me really feel just excited to live life, right? I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I kind of systemize my process and enjoy actually pursuing all my goals in a very, very more exciting manner. That's about it for today. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to smash the like button. It's the easiest way to let me know you enjoy this kind of content. And don't forget to check out the link down below for access to a free community that I'm starting called Press Start. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Christian Wan and I'll see you guys in the very next one. Later.